Alright, we're going to make a quick little simple video demystifying the Lampe Berger or fusion lamp or perfume lamp. These things have a lot of names. But essentially, it is a little, people call it an oil burner, and I wish people would stop calling it that because the fuel is actually alcohol. And that's a very important thing because the first thing I'm going to teach you in this video is how to make your own fuel. It's really nothing more than 91% isopropyl alcohol. That's all it is. I was recently turned on to this and I very quickly realized how expensive of a habit it was going to be if I keep buying the, Lampe Berger official fuel, or there's other competitors, but it's all very expensive. And knowing that it's nothing more than alcohol really, you can make your own fuel, or oil as people call it, but I call it fuel because that's really what it is and that's what keeps the lamp running. You can make your own just using alcohol and various essential oils. You can order them online, you can go to your local hippie shop or health food store or anything like that. They're going to sell this. Just ask where their essential oil section is. If you don't have the money to spend on the nicer essential oils, you can do, I believe they're called fragrance oils that you can get at Walmart or something. They're a little cheaper and they're not 100% natural plant extracts or oils like these are. But you can do a lot of things with it. I've even squirted some of my favorite cologne in there before and it worked fine. So here's how you make your own fuel. I don't even bother with mixing it separately and then adding it in because why? There's no point to it. It's just another step. I just add as much alcohol as I think I'm going to use. So if I want it to burn for, just like 3 hours, I'll just fill it up a little bit. You also know that you're never supposed to fill it more than, they say 75% full, but I've never really filled it up more than halfway. It needs air in the top for it to work properly. So I usually start with the oils. I've been really fond of this Texas cedar wood. I don't know if the focus is going to get on that, but this is a Texas cedar wood oil. And I've been putting about 10 drops of this in there. It takes a while to get going. I might speed this up in the video. 1, 2, 10. We got 10 drops of the Texas cedar wood in there. The cedar gives a nice woodiness, a little touch of vanilla. The cinnamon leaf that I'm going to add here is very strong. I put 10 drops of the cedar wood. Probably only going to put maybe 2 or 3 of the cinnamon. 1, 2. It's just getting 2. And just to add a little more complexity, I think I'm going to put in some of this bergamot. The bergamot also works really well with eucalyptus and grapefruit, which I've been doing in a different blend. So let's add a little bit of the bergamot. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got 20 drops in there. I've got 8 of the bergamot, 10 of the Texas cedar wood, and just a touch of cinnamon leaf. And I think I like that scent. I've done that one before. Then you just add the alcohol. It's really that simple. Make sure you are using 91%. Don't buy the 70% rubbing alcohol that they sell at the drugstore. It has too much water content and it won't keep the lamp running properly. It needs to be 91%. This is all I use in here. Works great. And like I said, I've used perfume, I've used colognes I like, I've used the 100% essential oils, I've used the cheaper fragrance oils from, a big box store. And as far as procuring the alcohol, any store with a pharmacy section is going to sell this. Any drugstore, any big box store, anything like that. It's easy to find. Now this filled up a little bit more than I thought it was going to. So normally I'd add a little bit more oil, but I'm not going to, just to keep this video a little shorter. Now here's another tip. They say you're supposed to put the wick in there and let it soak for 20 minutes before you get started. There's a much better method for that, and I like it for 2 reasons. One, if you keep it in a little Tupperware container with just 100% alcohol, not 100%, 91% alcohol, it's already soaked, it's ready to go. The other advantage of this is that you can keep 2 wicks in rotation, which I like to do. So I'll put my other wick back in the alcohol while I'm running this one, and then when I pick out some new scents to use for tomorrow, it'll be ready to go. So this guy's ready to go. Grab my lighter, don't know where it went. Alright, so I found my lighter, we're good to go here. Now while this is burning off, just want to mention another reason I like making my own as opposed to buying it. Aside from the obvious cost, I mean, you can pick up a bottle of isopropyl alcohol for almost nothing, like $2-3. Aside from the cost, I've found that the official Lampe Berger oils are way too strong for me. So you have to dilute them down, and they encourage you to use that neutral scented oil, which we've already learned is nothing more than just alcohol. So making it yourself, you can make a very lightly scented room, or you can go real heavy on it if you so prefer. It's much more customizable. You can make it exactly what you want. And one more thing about keeping your wick in the Tupperware container, I like to have 2 wicks. It's nice to keep them in rotation. You can keep different wicks, maybe one for very floral or fruity scents, one for darker, more woody scents, maybe even have another wick for bakery sweet scents, because not everything mixes well. But keeping it in the 100% or 91% just regular alcohol will remove most of the last scent you were using. So, and also the top part of the wick is only soaked with alcohol. That's going to burn off before the new fuel that we made with the new scents is going to work its way up through. So that's still burning down. I might speed up this part of the video. Alright, so we've let that burn plenty long. We're going to blow it out, put the decorative cap on, and just use as you normally would. Just another note, I know the instructions to these things say you need to snuff it out after 20 minutes. I never do that. I honestly can't even tell you where my snuffer cap is. I just put in as much alcohol as I plan on burning that day, and I let it go dry. And then you have a nice dry wick. You just put it back into your container and then rotate in one that's already been soaking, so you don't have to wait that 20 minutes. And it's kind of a set it and forget it. You just kind of forget about it. It makes your whole home smell nice. I love these things. And if you too are picky about your scents, or you found the Lampe Berger brand scents to be too strong, try this method. It's going to save you some money. You barely use any of the essential oil at all. I mean, I've been on these bottles for a good 2 weeks now, and it's barely even below the label there. So try it out. Works great.